I know it can be daunting right now to think about stocking your kitchen, but I am in Walmart today and I'm going to show you over 70 items that are still right around $1, give or take. Canned vegetables have gone up a tad at my Walmart, but there are still lots of different varieties that you can stock your pantry with for under $1 per item. Like canned green beans for 64 cents a can, or you can double up and get the can that's twice the size for $1.08. They even have the no salt added for the same price as the regular green beans. Canned corn, both the kernel corn and the cream style corn. And we're not fans of peas in my household, but you can still get them for 64 cents a can in the Great Value brand at my Walmart. If you have to have name brand, the Libby's brand of the peas and the corn and the green beans are only 98 cents. These canned vegetable medleys are great for using in soups, and there's two different kinds. I know they look like the same kind, but this one has potatoes in it. This one does not, just the veggie mixture is slightly different between these two, and they're 88 cents a can. Both diced and sliced potatoes, can, 88 cents. Canned fruit tends to be a little pricier than the canned vegetables, but you can still pick up canned pineapple in the 20-ounce size for $1.28. I'm a fan of making your own spice mixes if you can, but while you are building your spice cabinet, you can get 2 packets of taco seasoning to use in recipes for right around $1. Plus several different kinds of gravy mixes. Biscuits and sausage gravy, super inexpensive meal that fills the belly. And speaking of seasonings, I use this one a lot. You can still get a packet of ranch dressing mix at my Walmart for 50 cents, and they've also started carrying this Greek vinaigrette salad dressing mix for 50 cents. Ketchup, one of those condiment staples that is used with foods, but also in recipes. They do have a couple of store brands right around $1 while you're waiting for a sale or a coupon on your favorite name brand. Now, the idea here is not to go out and buy all of these items at once. The idea is if you have $1 or $2 that you can add to your grocery budget each time you go to the store, you can pick up 1 or 2 of these items and sort of gradually build your pantry over time. Beans are a featured item in budget cooking, and they have all of these different varieties for 78 cents a can. You've got kidney beans, you've got black beans, you've got chili beans. My family are actually partial to the navy beans. We like to use these in soups. They also have chickpeas, which I'm a fan of. They even have several varieties in the no salt added. They have several varieties of beans in organic for just over $1 as well, if that's your preference. Ooh, including lentils, which they actually don't have in the conventional variety. You can get canned organic lentils for $1.16. My family are not huge baked bean eaters, but there are several different varieties that are available for right around $1 or even under $1 for the pork and beans. It used to be that you could get a variety of different dried beans for around $1 a pound in my Walmart, as in the smallest packages. You can probably still get that price if you're buying, you know, like this 4-pound bag is $4.98, so it comes out to about $1.25 a pound. But the 1-pound packages, the only one that I'm seeing even close to that price are the pinto beans for $1.24. Everything else has gone up to about $1.30, $1.40. It still is a better deal than buying the beans already cooked in the can, because 1 pound of dried beans will yield the equivalent of like 4 cans of beans, but it's a little pricier than it was. I am very happy as a mother of 3 young children that I can still get a box of Kraft mac and cheese for $1. Or you can get the store brand in different shapes and varieties for 58 cents. Canned tomatoes, a pantry staple that I use all the time in recipes, and there are so many varieties that are available for around $1. 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce for 48 cents, or the 14-ounce can for 96 cents. Tomato paste is 86 cents. Different varieties of diced tomatoes for 96 cents. The regular diced tomatoes, petite diced tomatoes, the diced tomatoes that have some extras in the can as well. Plus diced tomatoes with green chilies, both the mild and the original, 96 cents in the store brand. I used to be able to get a variety of different pasta sauces for right around $1, give or take. And for a while, I could still get that Hunt's pasta sauce for around $1. It is today $1.34. I mean, just a year ago, it was 88 cents. Whew. Lots of different pastas still available for under $1 a pound at my Walmart. Fettuccine, linguine, spaghetti, rotini, penne, bow ties, although usually the bow ties come in a 12-ounce box for the same price. not a 16-ounce box. I've never been able to figure out why. Apparently bow ties are more bougie than the other pastas. You've also got some rigatoni here. You got a box of the small shells up there. You got some elbow macaronis here for 98 cents a pound. The lasagna noodles are gonna cost you just a little bit more at $1.43 a pound. Store brand hamburger helper in various varieties, $1.28. The Knorr pasta and rice sides have gone up to over $1, but occasionally, depending on the Walmart I'm visiting, they have a store brand in a variety or two for around 98 cents for the bag noodles that are already seasoned. Instant mashed potatoes, a few different varieties for around 98 cents, can be a really good filler for a meal. They also have the box potatoes, like the potatoes au gratin, for a little over $1 a box. 3 different kinds of stuffing, 88 cents a box, the chicken, the turkey, and the cornbread. You can come up with some pretty filling casserole recipes using this as one of the ingredients to stretch it to feed people. Some of the items that I'm mentioning might make really good additions to like an emergency meals bin, you know, the kinds of things that maybe we keep on hand if we lose power, or maybe if we're going on a camping trip or something and we need easy heat and eat options, or things that, you know, only require a heat source to make. I keep a bin of those kinds of items in my pantry. I'm actually getting ready to film another video specifically around this concept, but some of the items that I'm mentioning definitely fit within that wheelhouse. When my kids were little, having a few cans of this Chef Boyardee in the pantry was a lifesaver some nights, and it still is just over $1 at my Walmart to get this. You can also find it in their store brand occasionally, various varieties for under $1. It also makes a decent like emergency meal, you know, if you only have a heat source or something to throw in your emergency bin. So many different kinds of soup that you can still stock your pantry with for right around $1, either for recipes or for a quick meal option. In the name brand, Campbell's, you can still get tomato or chicken noodle for $1.26, or you can get the store brand for 68 cents. Cream soups for cooking, I tend to make myself with milk and cornstarch and broth, but if you want to stay around $1 to stock your pantry, whether it be mushroom, chicken, celery, I think they even have potato, you're gonna have to get the store brand as opposed to the Campbell's. I'm a big fan of this one right here, the vegetable beef. It's 92 cents for a can. And what I will do is add a little extra water and a brick of ramen, and I will stretch this to feed 2 people. I used to do that all the time as a kid and in college, and it still is one of those like favorite comfort foods for me. This Knorr chicken bouillon is $1.47 for 6 extra large cubes. However, if I come right over here to the other side of the aisle where we have some Hispanic brands, there are a couple of options that are right around $1 for 8 cubes of bouillon. It may not be exactly the same like size cube, but still a really good pantry stock up item if you don't have broth or you haven't had time to make any, or you know, you're still working on learning how to do that from scratch. The chunk light tuna in water in the Great Value brand is 96 cents a can. If you need the convenience of it in a pouch, they do have it for 96 cents. This is the value size, so it's a little bit more. And then they have some that are like lightly flavored here that are under $1 as well. I see another good item for my emergency bin or just for quick meals. They have these rices that are ready-made. Oh no, this is rice with the sauce mix. Ooh, these are not ready-made. These are like rice-a-roni. This is the first I'm seeing these in my Walmart. They have the cheddar broccoli, the Spanish style, and the chicken flavor for $1. Although regular rice-a-roni, $1.28 for the name brand, still right around our $1 threshold. A pound of white rice is 92 cents, good pantry item, and a pound of brown rice is 88 cents in my Walmart today. These little pizza crust mixes only require water. Not nearly as good as homemade, but if you're in a pinch, they'll do. And I'm not sure I've ever noticed this before, but I am seeing this Chef Boyardee pizza sauce in a 15-ounce can for $1.18. I typically just use a little bit of tomato paste from my pantry, but if you need pizza sauce, there you go. There's one for about $1 that you can store in your pantry. Salsa is a staple for us. We use it in a lot of recipes as well as, you know, snacking on it, but you're gonna have to look for a sale if you wanna get it around $1 to stock your pantry or learn to make it from scratch, because even the store brands have gone up almost $1. These used to be $1.38. I think maybe there was a time when they were $1.24, but wow. They're well over $2 now. Canned green chilies and also canned jalapenos are a great way to add flavor to your dishes. I have lots of recipes, especially casseroles and soups that call for these, and they're still 84 cents a can. Here's some more taco seasoning possibilities as well. These are a little bit more than the Great Value brand because they're name brand, but they're still well under $1 while you are building your spice cabinet. And I can get a can of red enchilada sauce, another good flavoring for dishes, for 98 cents. My younger daughter is a big fan of refried beans, especially with a little bit of sour cream. And they do have cans of refried beans, including the fat-free, for $1 a can. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I can usually get a great deal on name brand cake mixes, especially around the holidays if I'm watching for sales in local grocery stores. But if you need some right now, they do have the store brand and some of the most popular varieties for $1 at my Walmart. The fudge brownie mix, though, will cost you $1.24. Although I have to say, we are brand loyal to the fudge brownie mixes in either the Betty Crocker or the Duncan Hines. I just do not have good luck with store brand brownie mixes. The Jiffy muffin mixes are 98 cents, and then they have several in the Martha White brand that are $1.08. But these are more of like a convenience item, and if you only need a small batch, it's a much better deal to either get a cake mix and work from there as far as making muffins, or to make them from scratch. Jiffy corn muffin mix, 62 cents a box. There's a lot that you can do with corn muffin mix. I pointed this out in the summer when I was making those 4-ingredient yogurt pies so much, but I don't think I can make a graham cracker crust for less than $1.26. It would be tough for me given the ingredients. Flour is $2.34 for a 5-pound bag at my Walmart. If you just cannot swing that and you need flour maybe as a thickener, you know, or as something that is just used in recipes sparingly, they do have a 2-pound bag for $1.26. Unfortunately, there are some pantry staple items, some things that I think are really necessary when you're building your kitchen that I just can't get for around $1. Things like cooking oil, like sugar, different kinds of vinegar, because I use those in lots of different dressings and marinades and recipes. There are a few things that you might have to just save your dollars for so that you can invest in, but there are also things that don't run out super often, and you shouldn't have to replace them, you know, that often once you make the investment of stocking your pantry with those essentials. If I'm looking for a sweet treat, but I don't have a lot of money to spend or a pantry to go to for ingredients for like cake or cookies, then Jell-O is something I have used before in like budget meal videos to add just a little sweetness to the meal plan. But all you need is water, and there are several different varieties in the store brand, different flavors that are still under $1. Or a little more satisfying treat is pudding, but you have to have milk to make this. They also have 2 different kinds of breadcrumbs that are just over $1. And I use these to season vegetables a lot, or obviously you can use them, you know, to make meatloaf or to bread meat. The panko breadcrumbs are a little bit more, but the plain and then the Italian style, this is what I usually get, $1.12. So many different spices you can stock your cabinet with for right around $1 or less. I would definitely start with salt if you do not have any, and follow that up with pepper, which is a little bit pricier, but you could buy them both together, either in the name brand or in the store brand, for less than $2, so under $1 per container, until you can, you know, find a better price or stock up when you have a little bit more wiggle room. I would follow that up with garlic powder, garlic salt, onion powder, Italian seasoning, and then cinnamon, common in a lot of baked goods, chili powder, and then if you like heat, crushed red pepper and ground cumin. And then maybe fill in the rest just as recipes call for it, and you'll build a spice cabinet before you know it. They used to have a brand of oatmeal in my Walmart that was about $1.28, like $1.30 for a 1-pound package or container. If they do, highly recommend picking that up, because oatmeal stretches so far, and it's such a blank canvas that you can do so much with by adding other things you have on hand for a really filling breakfast. Because really, there's not a lot of other breakfast options that come in around $1, except, I don't know, maybe toast. Okay, I do see some little oatmeal cups that are 86 cents a piece. So not as good a deal as the price per ounce if you're buying, you know, larger packages of it, but maybe not a bad thing to throw in an emergency bin, because all you need is water to make these. Store brand bread in a variety of different kinds, like white or wheat, is now $1.32 a loaf. So right around my $1 threshold. You can freeze it, but as far as breakfast options go, I still think I'm better off investing in the oatmeal. Perhaps a better cheap breakfast option if you're looking for a protein kick are these Greek yogurts that are only 64 cents in the individual cups in the store brand, and my stores usually carry a couple of different flavors there. We've got the banana cream and the light, we've got the lemon meringue pie, the black cherry, and then you have plain Greek yogurt, which you can flavor yourself, and also vanilla. 64 cents. I don't typically buy regular yogurt anymore. I buy the Greek yogurt for the protein, because these to me are more like a dessert. But still, I've mentioned some sweet treats, and these Yoplait, 72 cents. I remember I really liked these whipped yogurts as like a dessert. So good. A dozen eggs is up to $1.30, but eggs, man, the price fluctuates based on the season, based on the region you live in. So you may or may not be able to find a dozen eggs to keep in your refrigerator for around $1. I can't find any coffee options for around that price, but I do see this package of black tea, 100 tea bags for $2, just over $2, like 2 cents per cup. Also, I can still get 8 ounces of sour cream for around $1. They're actually $1 right now. They're rolled back, but even when they aren't rolled back, I think they're $1.16 for 8 ounces of sour cream, and I use this in a lot of different recipes. Nope, none of this stuff. Sorry, not gonna happen. Not for $1. However, you can get a box of microwave popcorn. This is the 3-bag box. It's $1.52. So, you know, definitely over my $1 budget, but if you're looking for something to snack on, this might be your best bet if you don't have a lot of money to spend. However, best bang for your buck with crunchy snacks right here. I know it's well over my $1 budget, but a pound of popping corn for $2.28. I mean, this makes a lot of popcorn. You will not have to restock that very often. They do have these little oyster cracker packages for $1.24. I recently used these in a budget meals video, I think a budget lunches video, and I just seasoned them myself with oil and ranch mix. Let's see what we can find in the freezer section for around $1, give or take. We've got frozen peas and frozen mixed vegetables. Both of those are 98 cents for a 12-ounce package. The fine green beans are closer to $2, but the cut green beans are still 98 cents. We've also got cauliflower at that price, and kernel corn, and peas and carrots. I used to eat these Michelinas dinners in college. I still pick one up every now and then. I mean, it's better to make, you know, prep your own lunches if you can, but any port in a storm, right? And they have a few different varieties for $1.34. Maybe you could add some veggies and some extra protein to these, but maybe not a bad thing to have on hand in your freezer. They have this name brand in the chimichangas that you can buy individually, and maybe just buy 1 or 2 to throw in your freezer for, you know, emergencies or for a quick lunch option. I have not tried this brand yet, the 58-cent burritos. The brand is Tina's, and they have it in like a hot, and then a bean and cheese, and then a beef and bean, and then the green chili. Store brand Cool Whip is still right around $1. I use this in, you know, a few different dessert recipes. Not a necessity, but look at these little banquet pies. They're around $1. They have it in peach and apple. I mean, these are like individual size, not big ones, but still. $1. They must be systematically raising the price of the pints of ice cream in the store brand, because these right here are $1.63, and then they have just a handful up here that are $1.47. Hey, look, name brand Dawn dish soap is still only $1.24 for the small bottle. I use this for so much more than just dishes. I'll sometimes make hand soap with this. I'll use it to get really tough grease stains out of clothes, different, you know, household chores. So not a bad investment. You can also still get a 2-pack of Brillo sponges for $1.38. Not everything that I showed you is going to be something that your family needs or even likes, but I wanted to give lots of options. And I know it can be really overwhelming right now to think about keeping our kitchens stocked, especially if you're starting from scratch, but even for us seasoned pros. So I just wanted to give some ideas for very low cost items that can come in handy in a pinch. I do not know how many times I've been under the weather, or one of the kids has been under the weather, and I have just opened up and heated up a can of soup for dinner. Or sometimes I do get the protein going in the crock pot earlier in the day, but we're walking in the house right at dinner time, and it's instant mashed potatoes to the rescue as a side dish. A few of the items I mentioned are perishable for the refrigerator, and a few of them are for the freezer, but a lot of them are non-perishable items that would be really easy for us to pick up just 1 or 2 at a time, so we can sort of gradually build just a little bit of a stockpile in our kitchens. So what did I miss? Let me know. What do you see in your stores that is right around $1, give or take, and would make a great kitchen stock up item? Pick out one of these videos to watch next, and I'll see you there.